Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Star Wars, the Black Series, R5-D4. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top we have a hook and nothing else but a little window to let the light in from the top. Wait, did I say a window? Oh my gosh, plastic-free packaging is almost gone completely. Star Wars the Black Series on the front. Nice big window showcasing the figure and accessories. The window goes around to the side there a bit so you can get a bit of a side view. Star Wars The Mandalorian R5-D4 assortment number. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. 4 and up. Hasbro print on the bottom. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, just that window again, and this stripe that comes around from the front and goes around to the back at an upwards angle. Star Wars The Black Series. On this side, nice artwork of R5-D4. And on the back, again, nice artwork, just closer view of it, of R5-D4. Star Wars The Black Series, R5-D4. A battered astromech droid, R5-D4, has had a long operational span, bouncing around various owners on Tatooine for decades. Now he resides in Docking Bay 3-5 of Mos Eisley Spaceport in Pelimato's employ. And then we have same stuff in some other languages. Number 33 in The Mandalorian. Attention, don't stick things in your French pie hole. Includes figure and 5 accessories. Warning, attention, Octung, don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small fine legalese, made in China, Disney print, Hasbro print. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And we'll start off with the accessories. And here we have some handy dandy tweezers here. And I thought at first he would probably just come with the same stuff that R2-D2 did, but there are some different pieces. So here we have this, got a nice little paint app on it here, and this is his, link scoop link. I'm sure I said that wrong. And then here's another tool. Probably some kind of welding piece. And here's another one with that gold or brass paint on it. Again, this one has that gold or brass and some black paint apps on it. And then here's something that looks kind of like a blaster. Got a nice black paint app on it. And then there's this, and if I'm not mistaken, this is his bad motivator. Now there is also this piece, and I went ahead and pulled it off because it is a pain to get out. In fact, I had to pry it out with a scalpel, and there it jumped out of my tweezers, and I don't know where it went. Okay, I did find it. Took me a hot second, but it's just one of the pieces that goes into his dome. And you can see it's got a little post on it right there. And again, it was really hard. I had to use a scalpel, the tip of a scalpel or X-Acto, to pry the piece out. I lifted it up a little bit with my fingernail, and then I had to get something up under it that was really thin. And that's what I had on hand. Now, as far as the body goes, the paint, of course, is different, but this is the same body as the new retro-carded R2-D2 from the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. The only difference is the head, and as you can see, it's got some paint amps all the way around, and it's got these little details right here, and I don't know if that's an arm or if it's just like a greeble piece, and I think that's all it really is. It's not a little piece that comes out like Chopper has. And then his antenna, and again, there's where that piece goes. And I do believe this is the piece that ports into it. And there we go with that. Now, as far as the articulation goes, the head does spin a full 360 degrees. The legs do rotate a full 360 degrees, and that's it. And we do have some tilt at the ankles here. Forward that far, back that far. No wheels. He does also have the so-called third leg, which again is not the easiest to get out. I did pry it out a little bit before I started the review, so there is that. So it'll come out that far, and the ankle does have some forward tilt, but nothing back really. Well, I'll take it back. It just didn't want to do it. So it does have some back tilt that far, forward tilt that far. So and I suggest if you're gonna pose him with the leg out, or you're gonna often use it, I wouldn't put it 100% completely back in there. Just enough where you can get a hold of it with your fingernails. And he also has these arms again, just like R2-D2. And just like R2-D2, they're not the easiest to get a hold of, but once you get them, they will, and they will come out that far. And as far as these long compartments on the sides, you just push on it with your fingernail on one side and get your fingernail up under it on the other side and open it up. And so there's that, and then there's 3 ports on each side, and you can just port the accessories in where appropriate. And then if you just want to store the pieces, this piece, of course, goes in the top of his head. And it is really, really small, people. So there's that. And just like that R2-D2 mold, this piece does open it up, and it has slots in there where you can place the accessories, and they'll stay mostly. The only one I would be concerned about is the bad motivator, because it is such a small piece. But you just find those little channels and push those accessories in the best that you can. Don't mess up like I just almost did and drop it on the inside, although I'm sure you can get it out because it does have a bottom in there. So it's not that big a deal, but sometimes with the R2-D2 I've found that sometimes these things come loose and get in there, and it can jam it up. See, like that one just came loose. But I think I did that more than it doing it itself. There's that bad motivator. Let's see if it will even stick in there. Don't think it wants to. It really doesn't want to. Okay, I think I got it in there. It did not want to go, but it did. And you can see you kind of have to leave it sticking up a little bit. So then once you got all the accessories in place, just kind of gently work that back down. And that, my friends, is a look at R5-D4 and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Star Wars The Black Series R5-D4 next to an Imperial mouse droid, an Imperial torture droid, and on the next row we have the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi retro-carded R2-D2, the original Black Series R2-D2, and from Rebels we have Chopper. For our final set of comparisons, here we have Star Wars The Black Series R5-D4 with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, we have the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on Star Wars The Black Series R5-D4, I have to say, it's nice to finally be able to get some astromechs of the right size into the line. That original R2-D2 body, of which all astromechs were based on up until now, with the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi R2-D2 release, you know, they were undersized, and, you know, basically that was the only thing that was really wrong with them, is they were undersized, and maybe the accessories didn't quite work the way that we wanted them to. But I will say it is nice to have this new mold, and although I don't feel like I'm going to get too deep into astromechs in the Black Series as I did in the 3 3/4 line, it is nice to be able to have some astromech variety in the line. You know, everything that's right with the R2-D2, Return of the Jedi R2-D2, is right with this guy. The sculpt is good. The articulation is what it needs to be. And while I'm talking about the articulation, I'm going to say that there is a piece of articulation that I missed on R5-D4 and R2-D2 when I did his review. But there is a cut right here on the middle leg, and it will spin 360 degrees. Now, I don't know really what you would do with that, but there it is. And I like the colors, I like the sculpt, and again, it's nice to be able to have a little bit of variety in the correct proportions for this line finally. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further. Or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.